Computer System Servicing, Preparing and Installing Operating System. Windows 7. Learning Outcome. Understand the function of operating system. Learn the minimum requirement for Windows 7 operating system. Learn the procedure in creating and preparing the operating system. Learn and experience to install Windows 7 operating system. And discover and prepare the basic applications needed to be installed. Contents: 1. Introduction about operating system. 2. Minimum requirement for Windows 7 operating system. 3. Procedure to install Windows 7 operating system. And 4. Basic applications needed to be installed. The operating system. The operating system provides for the user to utilize the functions of a computer by managing the hardware and software in it. The image above depicts how the system software and the application software interact with the hardware. The application software, like computer games, spreadsheets, word processor, databases, internet browsers, encloses the system software, or like utilities and operating system, and the hardware, the CPU, disks, mouse, printer, and etc. Example: the user will use the applications then processed by the operating system in the hardware, and the hardware will go to the operating system and the applications and to the user. Terminologies: OS, or operating system. Operating system: the software which facilitates the interaction between human user and hardware is the operating system. The operating system provides instructions for installation and management of various application software. Not only that, the operating system manages all the input, output, and computer memory too, which means that operating system is the sole software which manages the whole. Also, the most important software that runs on a computer system. It manages the computer memory and processes, as well as all of its software and hardware. It allows you to communicate with the computer without knowing how to speak machine language. Without operating system, computer is obviously useless. Modern operating system uses graphical user interface or the GUI, pronounced as GUI. GUI lets us use the mouse to click icons, buttons, and menus. Everything is clearly displayed on the screen using combination of graphics and text. Types of operating system. Microsoft Windows. Microsoft created the Windows operating system in the mid-1980s. Over the years, there have been many different versions of Windows, but the most recent ones are Windows 10, released in 2015, Windows 8 in 2012, Windows 7 in 2009, and Windows Vista in 2007. Windows comes preloaded on most new PCs, which helps to make it the most popular operating system in the world. Microsoft Windows. Mac OS X. Mac OS is a line of operating systems created by Apple. It comes preloaded on all new Macintosh computers, or Macs. All of the recent versions are known as OS X, pronounced OS X, and The specific versions include EI Capitan, released in 2015, Yosemite in 2014, Mavericks in 2013, and Mountain Lion in 2012, and Lion in 2011. This is the interface of Mac OS X. Linux. Linux, pronounced Linux, is a family of open source operating systems, which means they can be modified and distributed by anyone around the world. This is different from proprietary software, like Windows, which can only be modified by the company that owns it. The advantages of Linux are that it is free, and there are many different distributions or versions you can choose from. The interface of Linux. Let's see how the OS work. Can computer understand this? Good morning. They don't. How about this? Shut down. Still, they don't. Simply because they don't understand human language. They can only understand and accept electronic data. This electronic data is called as machine language. Machine language is a codes formed using the binary digits or bits used to instruct or command the computer system. It is composed by two characters only, which is 1 and 0. That's why we have operating system to convert our instruction and commands into an electronic format which the computer understands. I see. OS allows the user and the computer system to communicate. What is the booting? 1. When the user powers up the computer, the CPU or central processing unit activates the BIOS or the basic input-output system. The first program activated is POST or the power on self-test. Using the CMOS or the complementary metal oxide semiconductor, memory, this checks all the hardware and confirms that all are functioning properly. After that, it reads the MPR, or the master boot record, in boot drive in accordance with the firmware bootstrap loader, which is provided by the computer manufacturer. Then, the computer loads in the operating system in boot drive to the RAM, or random access memory. This whole process is called booting, which means that an operating system is loaded into the RAM, or the main memory. Minimum system requirements for Windows 7. The parts, processor or CPU. Minimum requirement, 1 GHz or faster CPU. The memory or RAM, 1 GB RAM or 32-bit or 2 GB RAM or 64-bit. Hard drive free space, 16 GB available disk space for 32-bit or 20 GB for 64-bit. Disk drive, DVD drive, graphics memory, 128 MB or more. How to prepare your installer and program. First, check your system requirements. Confirm that your computer meets the minimum system requirements for that product. Note, if you're running Windows, make sure to download or install the version that matches your operating system, 32-bit or 64-bit. Second, make sure about legitimacy. In some operating systems, activation is usually automatic. However, if you are prompted for your serial number and product key before you can run the product, you can find the information you need in your CD case or package. Take note, product key and serial number is important, so make sure that you keep it. How to install Windows 7 operating system is step-by-step procedure. Operating system boot by 1. Flash drive or bootable pen drive. 2. Bootable CD or DVD. 3. Hard disk. How to install Windows 7 operating system step-by-step procedure. Turn your computer on and then press Delete or F2, depend on your computer's mainboard to enter the system BIOS. Go to Boot menu and choose Boot from CD or DVD and press OK. Load your Windows 7 DVD and boot it. It will now load the setup files. Loading process. Booting process is in progress. Select your language, time, and currency format, keyboard or input method and click Next. Click Install now. Setup is starting. Check I accept the license terms and click Next. Click Upgrade if you already have a previous Windows version or Custom. Advanced if you don't have a previous Windows version or want to install a fresh copy of Windows 7. Select the drive where you want to install Windows 7 and click Next. If you want to make any portions, click Drive Options, Advanced, make the partition, and then click Next. Click New and Next. Type the size, apply, and then Next. Drive Options menu. Windows warns that it may need to create a few partitions for the system. Click OK to continue. Then, click Next. It will now start installing Windows 7. The first step, illustrated example, is copying Windows files, was already done when you booted the Windows 7 DVD, so it will complete instantly. After completing the first step, it will expand or decompress the files that it had copied. Then installing features, installing updates. After that, it will automatically restart after 15 seconds and continue the setup. You can also click Restart Now to restart without any delay. After installation, Please do not press key this time. Starting Windows. Setup is updating registry settings. Setup is starting services. After restarting for the first time, it will continue the setup. This is the last step, so it will take the most time than the previous steps. Setup will continue after restarting your computer. Type your desired username in the text box and click Next. It will automatically fill up the computer name. If you want to set up a password, type it in the text boxes and click Next. Type your product key in the text box and click Next. You can also skip this step and simply click Next if you want to type the product key later. Windows will run only for 30 days if you do that. Select your desired options for Windows updates. Use recommended settings. Select your time and click Next. If you are connected to any network, it will ask you to set the network's location. Windows is finalizing your settings. Welcome screen. Preparing your desktop. Setting up personalized settings for Windows Desktop Update screen. Setting up personalized settings for browser customizations. And there you have a fresh copy of Windows 7 installed. Firstly, should install drivers on your PC. Check whether properly installed the drivers by computer. Right-click, Manage, then Device Manager. Basic things or applications to be installed. 1. Compress software. 2. Antivirus. 3. Microsoft Office or LibreOffice. 4. Browsers. 5. Adobe Reader. 6. Unicode. And 7. Printers installation. DCS considerations of software. 1. Genuine operating system should install because department use only genuine OS. You have to preserve this key on your PC. Second, if you haven't got a genuine OS CD, you have pirated CD or DVD, don't be afraid. You installed OS by pirated. After use this command. Use run, Windows key plus R, type SLUI3, SLUI space 3, appeared Windows activation window, and type your genuine OS product key on the PC. Use run, Windows key plus R, type SLUI space 3, appeared whether Windows genuine or not. And this ends the installation. Resources and acknowledgement thanks to Lady of Martin, clcur.com, cdn.statics-economies.com, and techgenics.com. Computer System Servicing. Preparing and installing operating system. Windows 7.
Easy now, no need to go down. Easy now, no need to go down.